What? It came from Tubi. So Tubi is my favorite streaming site, but it also has original programming, and it has become our job to review it. So I hope Jared, I hope you are ready for a rose ceremony because our movie tonight deals with
The
that.
movie wasn't.
I know the movie wasn't ready for a rose ceremony. We will get to that. So our movie starts off with this crying lady, but she's a big fat phony because she's just crying for the camera. She's like in this empty room, and she's like, "Oh, is there enough tears? I can do it over." But no one answers. There's like no one there in that room. So there's cameras. They're somehow working, and she goes and she puts on some makeup, and then da da da, she gets the she gets the scissors to the head. The final rose, brought to you by Scissors. Our killer is
You got the cut.
she, she was cut from the thing. Our killer, he doesn't care about which weapon he uses. He'll use anything. So
Her
uh,
bloody tears look like they got a marker and just went.
yeah, it does look like that. It's like, here, put this on. So we start off. Someone's watching TV and they're watching this Bachelor style TV show, and these contestants are trying to cut hair from. It's kind of like that episode of King of the Hill. It's kind of like that episode of King of the Hill where Luann has to cut the mannequin hair, and that's what they're doing. So here is our protagonist, our main character. Her name is Jess.
Robert Palmer Watkins. Oh,
Yes, Jess is played by Robert Palmer Walker. No, Jess is our main character, and she, ladies and gentlemen, is a mom. There she is, folding clothes,
like a mom.
and the mom part is gonna shock a lot of people I know. So her brother comes in with her daughter, and they're here, and they're like, "Oh, you're
Her
watching this."
husband and her child.
They're like, "Hey, you watching this crap?" And she's like, "Nah, I just have it on." Even though she was totally watching, she had some wine and she was having a good old time. She's too cool to admit that
You
she watches.
skip the part where she almost kills him because she thought it was a burglar or whatever, or
Yes,
intruder.
she's freaked out by the knock at the door. And it is kind of important because she grabs a baseball bat and she's gonna like smack this guy in the head, but it's her daughter. And she's like, "Oh." So remember baseball bat because that brings up a question at the end of the movie. Um, so yeah, she's watching this, and it turns out she was supposed to have a date. That's why the brother was looking after the daughter, and she got stood up. And she's like, "Well, I guess when they hear that I'm a mom, they run away." And
But
he's
why
like,
would that happen right before the date? You would do that on the date or before.
"No, the guy, man, he got scared." He's like, "Mom." Maybe she didn't tell him until like right before the date.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't do that right before the date.
Maybe she did though. Maybe she. "Oh yeah, I'm a mom," and he's like, "What?"
Well, then she's just dumb.
um, so the brother's like, I gotta do something with this girl. I gotta get her out of the house. And he's like, he sees a brochure for, no, he sees a commercial for this show, and it's like, "Do you want to be on this show?" And
Sign up your desperate moms.
yeah, and he's like, "I have a desperate mom." So he gets the big idea to sign her up. This is our staff. So we have, oh, I forget the director's name already. Do you remember the director? Bill. Bill is the
Bill,
director. He's very, I'm the director, I'm in charge, no nonsense, Bill. Uh, the girl with coffee is Maya. She gets no respect because she's just a gopher. She just gets the coffee.
I
This,
couldn't remember her name.
yeah.
The whole
The
movie, you're like, Maya's gone. I was like, who is that?
Who's Maya? The girl. This is Nikki, I believe her name was, and
I, I never remembered her name.
She's kind of a you know what, like a witch. She's like mean to everyone. These two are like the assistant directors, and this guy looking down, this is Patrick. He, he has dreams of being a filmmaker, and he's like nice to everyone, and he wears glasses. So that's Patrick. So they're talking, and they need another contestant because one of the contestants, got they need another one. It's kind of because I kind of confusing because was that the last season or was that going on during this? So they need
That's the
another.
last season, right?
I think so. They need another contestant though,
What
and
was
they
his name?
Patrick,
Patrick? Oh, okay.
and they see Jess's file, and they're like, "Oh, she's like Filipino American diversity hire." And they're like, "Yeah," and Bill's like, "I don't care. She doesn't have to be pretty. We just need a body." And so that's Bill. So they're like, "You just check some boxes
He's
for
like,
us."
does J.J. Abrams care about diversity? Like,
They're like,
no.
they're like, "Yes, that's the most important thing."
And he's like, dang it. I can
uh,
only remember Jess and Lance's name in this whole movie.
yeah. We haven't even met Lance yet. Well, we kind of did. So they're eating ice cream, and she's like, "I don't want to go on this show.
They're
This
on
sounds,
another brother-sister date.
yeah." She's like, "I don't want to go on this show. This sounds terrible." And he's like, "You know what? This girl's expensive, man. I gotta buy her, designer ice cream cones. This is getting expensive."
And he's like, you know what's sad? You. I'm sick of just going to your house.
I'm sick of being your husband. I'm your brother. So she's like, all right. Well, actually, she changes her mind because the daughter's like, oh, I really like hanging out with like Uncle Tito or whatever his name, and she's like,
Tito, it's not rocket power.
she's like, he gives me what do you call them? Piggyback rides, just like
Piggyback
Dad used
rides
to
like
do.
dad.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, you miss your dad, and she like
Back
doesn't.
before he was dead. I
Yeah,
don't,
he's
did he
not
die
dead.
or
No,
it
they're
just divorced?
divorced. They're
Oh, okay.
divorced.
Because they act like he was dead, and she's like, I just wish I had a dad.
Well, she's dead to him. She's like, "You miss your dad," and she doesn't say anything. She just like turns around in bed and goes to sleep.
Let me hug my unicorn.
So Jess gets the brochure. Big fancy show that's been on for 25 years. It's like The Bachelor, and all they can afford is this like construction paper brochure of the show. It is called Love at Last.
Hey, they had to fly a bunch of ladies to an island. They can cut some corners.
Bill's like, just put some construction paper together. That's what Michael Bay would do. So Jess leaves for the
It's
island. They live on an island in a mansion, and these are all our girls. Some of them
and
have.
like half the girls are like, whatever, and then the other half are like, oh my God, I'm gonna be a wife in like two weeks.
Especially this redhead girl who's like a super fan of the show. Her name's Abigail. Um, and next to her, the blonde is Chloe. And then this uninterested person with the phone is Madison, and she's kind of the villain of the show. So not of the movie, but the show, like the actual contest. And
And
then
then the whole back line is cannon fodder,
yeah,
so watch out for
don't get
them.
used to that. Um, so Maya comes around and takes
The,
all the phone.
the viewers, the guys watching the video are like, dang it, spoilers.
they, Maya comes around and takes all the phones while they're giving the instructions. They're not allowed to talk to anyone. Um, they have
And she's
like
like,
these,
I'm a mom. I
yeah,
need to talk to my daughter. And then that lady's just like, ugh.
yeah. They're like, daughter, what the heck? Who has a daughter? It's like the show, and it's 25 years. They've never had a single mom on it. This is like she's like groundbreaking. um, they actually get like their own phones with built-in apps that they can only use, and then they explain that when they're not on camera, they have to be on ice. That's the term they use, and that means they can't like do anything, say anything dramatic that they would want to catch on camera. The
They don't even
base.
have their Pokemon Pocket downloaded on the new phones. Everyone's like, God.
So everyone goes to the rooms. Maya shows Jess to her room, and Jess is like, "Hey, you seem nice. What do you want to be when you grow up?" And she's like, "What?" She's
She's
like,
like, "Oh, I'm the assistant." She's like, "Oh, what do you want to be?" And she just totally demeans her job. I was like,
"Yeah."
"Geez, Jess."
And she's like, "No one's ever asked me that. I want to be the director." And she's like, "Okay, I'll put in a good word for you." Turns out Jess has to share a room with this princess of a lady. She wears a tiara. I
Oh, that
c-
was even back then.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's her thing, Jared. That's how she got on the show. I can't remember her name. I think it's Hannah or something like that. Um,
Yeah, it's Hannah because remember I said her Pop Tarts already.
yeah, they were talking earlier, and they're like, "Oh, we'll put the drama queens in the same room and get some views like that." And she's like, "Don't even come to my side of the room. I don't want your stink. I want your mom stinking over here." And Jess is like, Jess is
You're
like,
so
"Everyone hates
rude.
me." But she meets Chloe. Chloe's her BFF like instantly. They're like, "Yes," and instant BFFs because she has to help her with her dress.
Is that
And
why? Is that the
yeah,
only reason why?
I think so.
I can't remember what they were talking about.
At one point, she's like, "Oh, will you be my mom?"
It's because you are a mom, so
Yeah, you got experience. I don't know any other moms. Oh,
I never had a mom. I just spawned into reality.
this creepy guy is watching them. He doesn't get like any other part in the whole movie. I mean, he's around sometimes, but for some reason, he decides to peek on these two in the room. And like, I'm not used to people peeking on me.
Chloe's like, oh, he does that.
So this is Lance. This is he's very
Lance.
orange. He's as orange as that croissant he's eating. Lance is the host of the show. He's kind of a washed up thespian. He's always talking about, oh, we put on Macbeth and it was so great. So that Lance is a big goofball.
And Bill's like, eat your croissant.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like Zack Snyder doesn't have to put up with this.
Hmm.
Uh, so the next day, Chloe's like, "Oh, I got sunburn." So I was like, "Yeah, you got a little sunburn." She's like, "Ah," and of course, Jess, being the mom, instantly has some suntan lotion in her purse, the magical mom purse. And this is
Took
the
a cue from One Fine Day. She's like, here, I got some sunscreen.
she's like, "Here, you can keep it," because obviously she has more in there.
One of 50. I brought
I
one for each of you girls.
I went to Costco before I came on the show, just in case. This is the part where Chloe calls her a mom, and she's like, "Oh, will you be my mom? Will you adopt me?"
She's
Uh,
like,
so,
do it. Be my mom.
so we meet the Bachelor, which they call the beau on this show. I mean, did they intend to get married? I can't remember. I think they are, but they call him the beau. And here he's trying to read a book. He's not too smart. He's a big phony too. Here, he's a very uncomfortable part with his shirt unbuttoned, and he
Oh, yeah,
help
because they're like, he helps people learn, or like, he tutors people.
no, he
And
helps orphans get into
oh,
Bitcoin.
with half his shirt on.
Yeah, and he's also walking on the beach with sandals, which I would automatically say no if I was one of the girls. I'd be like, no.
Get me
uh,
off this island.
Get me, yeah, I want off this island. Here he throws a puppy in the air. So his name is Garrett, right? Is he
Yeah.
one of the names you remember? And here the camera catches him
Yeah.
playing with the little booger. Because we find out Garrett's a big phony. He doesn't want to be there either. To go into his backstory, he's like mom. He did something bad, right? And so his mom put him on the show because she's a powerful business lady, and she wants him on the show to kind of recuperate his image. So that's why he's not a great guy. Madison goes in for the kill right away, though. She whispers some naughty things in his ear, and he's like, "Yes, she's the one." This poor lady, they call the giraffe.
She was tall.
She's too tall, and he's like, "No, this cannot stand," because he doesn't like being shorter than people. Like he's shorter than Lance, so they have to give him this apple crate so he can stand on it. Uh, so he's like, and Nikki comes and she's like, "Okay, I'll get rid of the giraffe." Jess likes to make this face a lot. It's her weird out face, and she's like, for a lady that's watched the show, she doesn't know anything about the show. She doesn't know how to play the game. And
She folds laundry at this part, Joel, so she doesn't see
okay,
this.
she's got to
She's
get the
too
laundry
busy
out of
being a mom.
the. She only catches half of it.
Hmm.
Uh, so they go. The first thing is like a cocktail party. So they all get.
First part is getting crunk because they're just downing drinks.
Yeah, and Madison and the girls are like all over Garrett, but poor Jess, she can't even talk to him. At one point, he tries to talk to her, but the blondes grab him and take him away. So Jess is not having a good
I thought it
time.
was Abigail. I thought she was like, "Can I have her, Garrett?"
Poor Jess, look at her. She's like, no one likes me. And then
This is not her element. She's used to birthday parties and jungle gyms,
Costco.
not young people activity.
So instead, like I said, they don't have a rose ceremony on this show. Instead, they
He just
have,
says, "You can go, you can stay."
yeah. At this point, he's like, I didn't get to talk to everyone, so everyone can stay. But usually, he's like, instead of giving them a rose, he goes, "Will you take this dance?" or something like that. And they go, "Ooh," and they dance. So you're probably wondering, where's the final rose in the final Rose movie? I will tell you when we get to the end, though. So stay tuned. Uh, so Tiara Lady throws her drink at Jess, and Jess makes the weird face because she doesn't know why.
She's like, she's like, "You got your stake on everything, B word."
Yeah.
And Jess is like, "You're crazy."
So she like grabs her and they like drags her out of the house, and she's like, "We gotta talk."
She's like, "Young lady," and she grabs her
Yeah.
forearm and she's like, "We're going to the parking lot."
Grabs her by the ear and is like, we gotta have a talk." They almost hit this tripod, but Patrick's like, "Ladies, hot points." Don't like. I don't know what hot points means. I guess that's a film maker word, but you might want to remember the tripod. So she takes her out to the beach,
What
and
is this? What is this picture?
this is where she's gonna explain the game to Jess. She's like, "Dude, drama's good. You'll stay longer. You're a mom. You're already like behind, so I'm trying to help you." And she still has her tiara on because she is a princess. Jess, after they talk, just like sees a microphone and she's like, "What is this doing here?" I don't know why. I
That's
don't.
a walkie-talkie.
Walkie-talkie. Um, I don't. It's Maya's walkie-talkie. We don't know why it's there. I guess the movie's trying to make us believe Maya's the killer at this point, I guess. So this girl, I think it was Hannah, she's talking to her agent and she's like, "Dude, this mom is a real loser. Give me give me appointments to the spa or something like that." And then we see our killer. He comes in from behind. You can't really tell too much, but he wears a disco ball on his head for some reason. We called him the disco killer. So what he does is he grabs the tiara and he slits her throat with it.
Is that how he did it?
Yeah, that's how he
Hmm.
does it. He's a very versatile killer. He'll use whatever's on hand. Next time is breakfast. Everyone grabs a strawberry except for Jess, who gets a giant muffin. Because she's a mom and she needs that
Well,
extra.
why wouldn't you? There's a giant muffin.
Everyone's got fruit, Jared. The girls. But Jess is eating for two.
But look at that muffin.
Jess is eating for her daughter at home.
Isn't your daughter like 8? Shut up.
Shut up. I got my mom shorts on. I don't
And
actually
she's got
remember.
watermelon.
True. She fruited up the muffin.
That like cuts the muffin in half.
I don't think that's how it works. I don't remember exactly what they were talking about there. Lance comes in. What's he got? He's got. I don't remember.
I
Oh, I
think
know what
the
he's got.
activity they're gonna do
No,
next.
he says that the girl wrote him a letter saying the
Um,
girl that got killed wrote him a letter saying that she had to leave the island because of a family emergency. So
don't worry about me. Everything's fine.
everyone moves up a spot. Um, Patrick showing off the island to
He's
Nikki.
like, this is Isla Nublar. That's where the dinosaurs are.
And everyone's like, "Where did that girl go?" And they're like, "I don't know."
He's like, we're on an island.
So it's activity day, and it's like a sports thing type of thing they're doing, and it's
Did you
blue.
get Garrett's outfit?
Yeah, I did. So Garrett shows
Okay.
up wearing this number. It's terrible. He looks like a, I don't know. He doesn't look very masculine in a jersey tucked into his pants. Um, but he's like, he gives him a speech like, "You gotta do it. You gotta give your all." But then he sits down and he's like, "I hate this. I don't want to be here. I don't care about which girl can jump the highest or run the fastest." And Lance is having a good old time. Look at Lance. So they do the
Lance
obstacle
is pretty good
course.
sport about everything.
Yeah. Abigail gets into this event too, man, because they're like going through the dirt, like eating mud and
I thought
and
she was like upset because Jess didn't mind the mud, but she was like, "How are you doing this? I'm filthy."
yeah, I don't remember what because Jess was really good at this part, and she's like, "Because I do this all the time," or something like, "Because
She
I'm a mom."
she's like, "It's just mud, you idiot," and she just army crawls, and
Yeah.
then Abigail's like, "It's in my mouth."
But Abigail is determined to get this date. Meanwhile, Garrett and Madison are just like making out while everyone's actually trying. And for some reason, Jess looks like she's about to win, but then she like stops and let Abigail run across. It was a weird shot, and she like jumps on Garrett.
But didn't she stop because what they were making out, and she's like, "Oh, this is
Oh, maybe she had to make the weird face,
yeah."
the weird out face.
She can't make that face in motion, so she has to stop and go.
So Abigail jumps on Garrett because she's happy she won. She's like, "Ah!"
Mm. That lady's crazy. I would have voted her off the first night.
Well, he's about to. Jess is upset because she don't know how to play game, and he was making out, and so she walks by this gentleman, this man who's just out there cutting weeds, and she gives him the face. She gives a very suspicious eye. This poor
Looking,
guy who's just doing his job.
looking like those guys that harvest the plant that they make tequila out of.
Yeah, the agave
Yeah, because he's got that big old giant machete. He's
machete.
like,
um, Patrick and Nikki are like, "Hey, can we get, I think they call it OTF." And she's like, "I don't feel like this. I don't want to talk." And she's like ready to leave. Basically tells them that she wants to leave.
and they're like, no, he wants to talk to you. He's all about
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So they keep feeding her this lie that he actually likes her, and then she like goes back and he sees her and he's like, "Oh, I really wish we could talk. I really want to talk to you." And she's like, "Oh, okay."
Is this part where he's like, you're not like these phonies.
Yeah.
We know what's up.
and then so she's at the elimination, and he's got to decide between Jess and Abigail, and so he tells Abigail to, take a hike because of the she's weird. He's, and Abigail's like, oh no, oh no. And Nikki like runs in, is like, ice it, Abigail.
Abigail's like, I'll do better. She's like, get out of there.
Yeah, she's like, shut your face, get out of here.
In your room.
So Abigail's devastated. Whenever someone gets cut, they put them into what's called holding. So they have to go into this room and they're isolated. They can't like see anyone else. So she starts eating all the stuff she can grab, and
And there's an iron on her bed for
I
some
guess she
reason.
plans to do some ironing after her cry session. I mean, she planned ahead,
But
I
why
guess.
there? Is she gonna iron on the headboard?
I guess. I don't know what her thought process. She just got eliminated, Jared. She's delusional. And then the disco killer strikes, and he grabs the iron, and he somehow murders her with an iron.
And he's like, it's a hot something something tonight. I can't remember the disco song, but he's like,
So then we get a montage of, they're at a rave, and he's dating everyone except for Jess. Jess still
this
can't.
lame this lame rave. It's like small and no one's having fun, but Garrett.
Yeah. And we get more fake rose ceremonies, I guess, false rose ceremonies, and everyone starts to get cut. Um,
This is the one where he's like, one, two, one, two, one, two, all the ones get out of here.
they accidentally almost pick up the same apple. Oh my
You eat
goodness.
apples? And she's like, not really. I kind of wanted the biscuit.
I was going for the gigantic Cinnabon.
I was going for the crumble cookie. I'm sorry.
You can have this weird round thing that people eat. Um,
That's an art, but I don't know what it is.
Garrett grabs three girls and he's gonna go have a group date with them. And Jess and Chloe watch. Chloe's like,
Sauna
yeah,
date. Or not
sauna date,
sauna, like spa date.
spa date, yeah. And Chloe's like, yeah, I wish I could go on a spa date. And Jess is like, I wish I could go on any date. And then Nikki comes over and she's like, okay, let's roll you asking how you feel. And so all the girls say this. They all have to say this line. So it's this, but I could really see myself falling in love with him. Like everyone says that for some reason because they know that's how to get on the show. And then they turn it to Jess, and she's like, she's still upset, so she runs away, and
She's
she
like,
runs,
screw you, Patrick and other lady, and then she runs off.
yeah, and she runs to the beach. And while she's at the beach moping, she finds the tiara. She's like, "Why is her tiara here? She would
This
never
is her
go.
little tiara.
She would never go anywhere with her tiara. I just know it." So she takes that.
I thought this was attached to her.
So she goes finds her BFFs, and she's like, "Dude, something's fishy." Because something's wrong. I just have a feeling that something's wrong going on. And Chloe's like,
She's like, I think
"What?"
people are dying.
Yeah. Chloe's like, "What?" And Madison's like, "Who cares, woman? We need to win." So she walks and she's like looking, and this guy, he's back. He's doing his work. He's clearing the show. And again, she gives him a dirty look. So this is the
I
part
mean,
where,
you would too. There's just some random dude with a machete on an island.
no, what? That's his job.
He's not even a part. He doesn't even look like he's part of the crew.
He doesn't. But maybe he lives on that island and
The island with one mansion.
yeah. So Bill or Patrick's talking to Bill, and he's like, "Hey, did you get to see my film stuff?" And Bill's like, "I am never gonna watch your film stuff. You suck." He's like, you're never gonna be anything in this
No one
industry.
cares about a couple geezers and some pigeons.
Patrick's like, ugh. Jess is sneaking around and she goes to Abigail, who she calls Abs. She never called her Abs before, but she's like, Abs, Abs. So she goes in there and she looks in there
Best
and she's
friend, best
like,
friend.
yeah. And she's not there. Lance comes in, he's like, what are you doing here? This is like the only time he's
You
ever
shouldn't be in here.
he's the yeah, he's the only time he's ever serious in this movie is in this scene. He's like, you can't be in here, and you better go, and I'll cover for you. So she goes. She's about to go in her room, which is all red for some reason, and the disco killer's there waiting for her. But someone calls her, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta go this way."
And he's like, disco will happen no matter what.
it was Maya who called her, and she's like, "Hey, Maya, can I ask you a question? Is there like weird stuff going on?" And Maya's like, "We're not
She's like,
supposed to."
hey, Mayo, where's Miguel?
Maya's like, "We're not supposed to talk about it, but yeah, people are like disappearing." But then Bill comes and he calls her like Megan or something. He doesn't use her real name, and she's like, "What?" He's like, "Where are the logs for the fire? Go put the logs on the fire." And she's like, "Oh, I had to get Jess for her interview." Meanwhile, some girls
He's
are
like,
getting.
he's like, Bill's like, Tarantino doesn't have to deal with all this crap now. Go fix something.
Meanwhile, the spa daters are getting slaughtered by some raptors or something like that.
I don't know. He just turns up the heat
Yeah,
and they're melting.
but they can't get out. And then it's poor Maya's turn. So she was walking and she dropped her book, and then she looked around and was like, the disco killer. We get a fast cut of Lance doing some Tai Chi under the tree. It's a weird long scene. I don't know why they included that. Um, and then they tell the girl, "Hey, the all the spa girls have disappeared, so you guys are in the top three." And they're like,
It's
"Yeah,
weird. Everyone's just leaving. You're the only three left.
yeah." Everyone just keeps leaving. We don't know why. And Jess, she's had enough because she's looking at a picture of her daughter. Because if you remember, she's a mom. Um, and so she's missing her daughter, and she's like, I quit. So she goes to Bill, and she's like, I just got to go home. And Bill's like, oh, really? That's weird because I have this video for you, and it's of Garrett saying that you're so different than the other girls. You're real, and he'd really like to get to know you. And she's like, oh, he gives her this line. He's like, we do connect a lot of people on this show. So our show is worth it, Jess.
He's like,
It,
I know you spoke in like two sentences to him, but he's like, man, you are.
you're in the top three. I don't know why you're complaining. uh, and we cut immediately to him going, "Oh, I gotta go on a date with a mom." And they're like, "Yes." And he's like, "What
He's
happened
like,
to
that's
the
all they're gonna be talking about.
Yeah?" He's like, "What happened to the dad?" And they're like, "He's out of the picture." And he's like, "How old's the daughter? 7." He's like, "Oh, I can't wait to hear all about it." Um, Jess is getting dressed because the weirdest thing in this movie is all the contestants dress and make up themselves. You think on a show like this they would have a wardrobe department and people, putting makeup on these girls, but no, they do it all themselves. So she finds a
And
dress
then
and is
her brother packed this sexy little number for his sister,
yeah.
her brother slash husband, and I was very weirded out by this.
He's like, I always liked you in this one. And Chloe's like, oh, I wish I could wear that. Because she thought Chloe had
But
given.
Chloe's wearing like the same thing.
Yeah. Chloe is like, because she thought Chloe had given her the dress. And she's like, no, I don't know what that is. But there was a note from her brother. So she gets all prettied up, and Garrett's like, "Whoa!" And all the crew's like, "Whoa! We didn't know she could dress up like
Mm,
that if you're a mom." Um,
that's not a mom. She's too hot.
so they have their dinner date, and I don't know if he could see, probably can't, but
There he,
he has an earpiece in his ear because he doesn't
he
like know what to talk about. So Nikki and the crew like give him stuff to say. So there's like these
he
weird
freezes
pause.
sometimes.
Yeah, there's these weird pauses in their conversation while he's waiting for them to give him the words. But she doesn't see through it. She's just like, "Oh, he's so, he's so romantic." And he's like, "I'll be your baby mom." And she's like, "Oh, I love that." Um,
They're eating some weird crap, like uncut, like just
I
like
know.
a whole piece of chicken, just like a whole tomato. I was like, what the heck are they eating?
Maybe they don't have catering either. They just make them cook the stuff. So, and then they smooch it up because Jess is totally um
And then
tricked.
in the earpiece, you can hear, "Yeah, do it, Garrett."
Use some tongue. She's just so tricked by the show. And then immediately as they cut, he dives into a chicken wing or a
Dude, it's like
drumstick.
he's never eaten anything in
Yeah,
his
he's like
life.
so
He's like,
hungry.
"You kiss like a mom."
So we go to the last, or not the last. We go.
Look, they're wearing the same thing. Did her brother pick that for Chloe?
Her straps are down. Okay, her straps are up.
I was so confused.
Um, so they go to the rose ceremony. That's not a rose ceremony. And he's got two brunettes and a blonde, so he can't pick one of the brunettes. One has to go, and it's Jess. And she like freaks out. She's like, "You lied!" And she runs off the set, and he's like, "Oh no, come back!" And they like chase her around, and she's like, "I don't want to talk to anyone."
That
Uh,
lady's like, "Get back here."
yeah, Nikki. She's like, "Get over here." She finds her room, and then Patrick gives her a phone. He's like, "There's someone who wants to talk to you," and it's the brother and the daughter. And they're like, "Hey, we miss you." And the brother's like, "Dude, you need to come back because I don't know how to make food, and my stories suck."
She's been without food for 2 days.
So she's like, "Yeah, I'm coming back, guys." And she tells Nikki, she's like, "You're really good at your job." And she takes it, but I'm not going anywhere with you because they were going to put her in holding. But she's like, "No, I'll go outside." Uh, Garrett sees
She's
her
like,
and
"You know
is,
what, Nikki? No one likes you. You're a B. You're a
yeah.
B word."
Garrett's like, "Oh, you did a good job, sport." And he pats her on the shoulder. She's like,
He like slapped.
she's like, "Ugh." She's like, "You're a phony," and he's like, "Yeah, we agreed
Uh,
we'd be phonies." And then they
He's like, "It's
immediately,
not my fault you took all this serious." And then she's
yeah,
like,
he's
"Oh,
like, I thought
why?"
I thought we agreed this was BS. So they immediately go to Lover Lodge, which is the part where they can have some private time. He's going with Chloe. I don't remember why but so no cameras allowed in Lover's Lodge, Jared.
I think it was her turn first because then she wanted to go talk to Jess.
Mm.
So it just worked out that way, I guess.
So Madison just is sitting at this weird bus stop.
This was the biggest shock of the movie. I was like,
It was, and they had do like absolutely nothing with it. So it turns out Madison has only been acting so forward to Garrett because they went to college together, but he didn't know her. But he dated her roommate or her best friend, and then he attacked her when she wouldn't uh, go out with him or something like that. Um, so he attacked her and got physical. So she put on a wig, and it has completely confused Garrett. Um, but she's like, yeah, that's. I'm just trying to get to Garrett because I'm gonna humiliate him when we get to the end.
I was
Um,
like, that wasn't real hair. And then I was like, he picked two blondes. His plan failed.
his plan failed. And then they hear a scream, and they're like, "That's Chloe. Let's run!" But it was just Chloe
My
being.
Chloe senses are tingling.
It was just Chloe being dramatic because he has this big romantic. I don't understand why he's being romantic if the cameras aren't watching, but he is, and he like puts a
Maybe
blind.
he's fallen for Chloe.
No, we don't care about Chloe. He puts a blindfold on her, and he gives her a ribbon. And he's like, "Here, follow this to my love," or something like that. And then he goes in. And he gets undressed really fast and jumps in a hot tub. And Chloe's like, "Oh, I can see it's so funny, ha ha ha." Uh, yeah, so there he is.
There is that
But
weird. Oh, it's not that part yet. Hold on.
but as Garrett's waiting in the hot tub, we see the disco killer in the background. And when Chloe finally gets to the hot tub, she finds that Garrett is missing a head. And I don't know if YouTube likes decapitation, so I didn't put it, but we see Garrett headless with like blood.
Just like a volcano,
Yeah, a
like
volcano of blood gushing out. And Chloe's like, ah. And the other girls come too, and they're like, ah.
that guy
So,
had no head.
yeah. So the show's over.
This was a weird scene.
Yeah. So they carry the head, and Nikki's like, I wish I could lose 8 pounds that fast. And Patrick's like, what the heck is wrong with you? Bill's like, Bill's really weird about this because he's like, everyone just stay pat, just hang tight. He keeps saying, everyone just hang
He
tight.
also, but he's also like, where is your hair?
Yeah, oh, yeah. He's like, why do you look different?
did
So they try to console Chloe, who needs medical.
did you skip the part with the champagne?
No, it's coming up.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
they have to console Chloe because she needs medical attention.
She needs a doctor now.
She needs a doctor now. We don't know why. She doesn't seem hurt or anything. She might need a therapist, but they keep saying she needs medical attention. Um, and Nikki comes in and she's like filming them, and they're like, "What the heck are you doing? Why are you filming us?" And she's like, "You signed contracts. You have to be
Oh
filmed."
yeah, she's like, what's wrong with you,
Uh,
Chloe? Or
she's
not
like,
Chloe.
Nikki. And they're like, why are you filming us? And she's like, you signed contracts. We get to film you until you leave the island. Um, so the staff gets to leave because they're all unionized, so they can't keep them there. Um, so they're gonna have like a little going away for the staff, and he's like, get out the champagne, yeah. And they're all
The
passing
champagne.
all passing the champagne around. And he does a toast, and he's like, we couldn't do it without you guys." And like a second later, he doesn't drink the champagne, Bill, because he's like, "We got the good stuff in the back," he tells Patrick. Um, and so he puts his champagne away. Chloe grabs Patrick's champagne. Make a note of that, Jared. She grabs Patrick, and she just chugs it, man. It look
She
kind of
needs medical attention, Joel, so she needs something to take the edge off.
She chugs that champagne, man. It looked kind of painful. um, but then, like a second later, everyone starts throwing up blood, like this weird CG blood, and everyone's like dying from the champagne. Look at this guy. He looks like he's got an alien coming out of his mouth. Uh,
I don't know how this worked because there's some guy that's probably like, oh, I don't drink, or like,
yeah, but I guess they all
also
drink.
it's like 8 a.m. It's like, I don't want to drink right now.
So they all run in the house, and they're like, "Oh, we all gotta stay together." And they're like, "Screw that! I'm getting off this island." Patrick's trying to call for a plane, the boats to get them off, and Jess is like, "Hey, can we use my phone? I could probably do it." And he's like, "Okay." Um, and then Jess confronts Madison
This is
because
the showdown.
yeah, she confronts Madison and she's like, everyone's dying, and only you have a motive. You want to kill Garrett because of what happened. And she's like, "What are you talking about? It wasn't me." And
I'm on the phone with the cops. What are you talking about?
yeah, she's like calling the cops, and she's like, "I wanna believe you." But then the disco killer strikes. He um, knocks out Jess with the chloroform, I'm guessing. And then he like pushes this lady out into the ocean. We don't know what happens because this is the only shot we get, but it looks like he just pushes her in the ocean. And maybe she's like a witch and she doesn't like water and it like dissolves her or something. I don't know. So Jess wakes up and she's tied to a chair, and we get the big reveal. It was Patrick the whole time.
The whole time.
Why? What was his motive? Well, he had worked for the company or the show for 10 years, and he was just at a dead end. He was tired of it, so he decided just to kill a bunch of people. Uh,
Eagle-eye viewers will remember when Bill was like, "Your stuff sucks,"
yeah. That
and then
if
they'll connect the dots somehow.
somehow. Why did he leave
There's a
Jess
few
for
dots
last?
missing,
Yeah, why did he leave
but
Jess for last? What did yeah,
she's a mom, Joseph. Why would you
all he
go for the
says
mom first?
all he says is because you're different. You were different, Jess.
Yeah, she's a mom.
So that's why he kept her for last. Even even like she survives longer than the director, who he should hate and who he should take his time with. He doesn't. Um, so he's like, "How do you want to go out?" And she like looks at this table and he has like a drill there, and he's like, "Okay, I'll use that drill." And she's like, "Oh." And then Lance comes in, and Lance is like, "Everyone left me, man." He's like,
No one told me there was gonna be champagne.
yeah, I've been the star for 25 years, and you guys just leave me." Um, so Jess punches the disco killer, and then you know what she does? She had the tiara still. I don't know if you saw this, Jared, but she still
Where
had
was she
her.
keeping it?
I don't know, but she kept that tiara, and she like undid her ropes, and then she punched the disco killer, and then Lance also punched the disco killer. So he's down for a while, but then he gets up and he stabs poor Lance, and Lance is like,
Lance,
"Oh!"
no!
Lance starts singing. Um, but luckily Lance had got Jess free, so Jess runs away. And while she's running, she sees a bunch of dead people. So poor Chloe's. Is it Chloe? No, she sees someone who's like torn up. I don't know who it is, but she's someone that's
Oh,
like,
wasn't it? What's her name? Nikki?
no, that's Nikki. Nikki's just
Oh,
like knocked out on the ground, but she saw this body that was all torn up. I can't figure out. I think it was Chloe, but Chloe died by throw up, so I don't.
was it the lady who got thrown into the ocean?
No, it wasn't her. I couldn't tell because you can't tell. Um, she also passes by Bill, the director, who you think the guy would torture a little more, but no, he just had a chandelier land on him and his guts are spilled out on the floor. Um, so Disco Killer is in the big hall or room where they do the rose ceremony, and Jess, out of nowhere, where did she get this baseball bat? Is it the same baseball bat from the beginning?
She
We
packed
don't.
it.
She packed it in her magic bag. So she comes flying
Where
out
she
with
had
the.
all the sunscreen.
She comes flying out with the bat and smacks the disco killer, and it looks like he's down. But then he gets up, of course, one more time, and she gets the tripod and she stabs him with the tripod, and she's like, "Hot points, Patrick," and Patrick is dead. And then we get one of the most bizarre endings. So Lance gets up. He's got like this little thing stabbed in him. And, they're the last two survivors. It's him, her, and Lance. So
It was meant to be.
it was meant to be. Lance is married, so he doesn't really want her. Um,
Mm.
so she goes back to her family and she says, "You know what? I didn't need a husband. I just needed a brother." So that's how it
I had a
is.
husband the whole time. It's my brother.
and they all live happily ever after. And then
And
we
then
get
a different movie starts.
yeah, and we get these two guys. They're like secret agents or something. And they're like looking at the mansion. They're like, "Yeah, we cleaned this up place. We cleaned this place up nice. Not a trace of any kind of crime." And then we made Jess sign a non-disclosure agreement. So if she says anything, we'll sue her into oblivion. And that's how the movie ends. The movie ends on this long shot of the mansion.
And don't they say like, oh, one guy's like, dude, I'm starving, and
Yeah,
he's
and they're
like, yeah,
like,
I could eat,
"Let's go get some
and then they
tacos."
like run out of the house.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah,
there's a place on
so
the
weird.
mainland with some tacos, and they're like, yeah, tacos sound great.
Well, yeah, there's nowhere on here, idiot.
So the final rose, Jerry. Lots of roses in this movie,
You never
right?
showed where the rose was.
I will tell you who the rose was, Jared, because it
Oh,
turns out Jess's last name is Rose.
oh, they never even said their last name.
They do at the very
Did
beginning.
they?
Yeah, when they were looking at the contestants, like who they wanted to pick. And they look at her name and it's like Jess Rose.
No one listened to that.
So wouldn't the daughter be the last Rose?
Not she wasn't on the island.
I
She
know,
that doesn't
but
count.
her name is Rose, isn't it? Maybe not. Maybe she took her dad's name. So maybe Jess is the final Rose. All right, that was our movie.
That's a dumb name. That name for a movie that had nothing to do with anything.
It's they really wanted to be the Bachelor, but they probably are like
Is there like
we
a trademark on that rose ceremony?
they're probably like, we will get sued by the Bachelor if we show roses in this movie. So there's no roses in this
But
movie.
the cover has a rose.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make sense, Jared. A lot of things don't make sense. Why are the girls dressing in makeup themselves? I don't know. Where did she get that
That's
bat?
fine, Joseph. They're on a budget. They're on a budget. They can't afford real invitations, so I don't know why you were so hung up on that.
It confused the heck out of me. Where did she get that bat at the end, Jared?
That's her home bat. That's her home security.
That's her personal safety, whatever. What do you call that? Protection. So we usually give these a TV dinner. But do you have any
What is the
thoughts?
most romantic TV dinner?
I was thinking a pot pie, but not like a Marie.
That's that's not romantic.
Yeah, that's not romantic.
It goes with the fact that she's a mom. I guess
Yeah,
that's a mom meal.
that's what I was thinking. A mom meal, because she doesn't get romance at the end. She gets her brother. So I'm thinking she buys a bunch of pot pies for them. But probably, do you like this movie enough to give them a Marie Callender's pot pie, or do they just get the banquet pot pie?
Just a banquet, 89
Just
cents or whatever it is.
because she's a mom and she's on a budget and she got to buy for her daughter and her brother. So
There's like four or five of these, right?
what?
These movies.
No,
Isn't
this
this a
is
series?
no, this is the only one you
No.
get, Jerry.
Hmm. I thought
But
there was another series they had.
there are some, but we're not there yet. We have. I mean, we could go back to War of the Worlds, I guess, if you want.
No.
No. But next time, we're going to get a little dose of brotherly love when we watch Frankie Meets Jack. So join us next time for It Came from Tubi. Like, subscribe, and notify yourselves. We'll catch you later. Say bye, Jared.
Boy.